Oh yeah, here we go, my interwebnet friends. Capcom have had another showcase live stream video thingy. Well, pre-recorded, but you know. Anyway, this video is not going to be breaking down the new area and the new monsters we saw and everything like that. I want to talk about this slightly more exciting noise that we have a beta coming up. There's a beta. Not a demo, a beta. After seething with jealousy over the various conventions and events where Capcom have recently been touring a playable demo of Monster Hunter Wilds, not Australia, but the current one being Paris Games Week happening right now, we do have an open beta coming in for Wilds, and it is a beta, not a true demo. Unlike what some developers do, there is a distinction here. It is hitting us as a limited time windowed opportunity, and very early in comparison to the timings of previous demos we've had for both Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise and their respective expansions, Iceborne and Sunbreak. So it's absolutely not going to be based on something very, very close to final release code, as a demo would be expected to be. So do expect less than perfect performance and bugs and weirdness and things like that. But the point of this beta is in obvious service to testing, exposing bugs with nailing down any rickety floorboards associated, in particular, with the unprecedented feature this Monster Hunter game has over any and every other game in its 20-year history, that being cross-play. At last. Oh my God, we've finally got crossplay. Still excited about that. So, it's more than just a pre-order boosting sales tool that a demo would be. And indeed, while the word beta test has lost almost all meaning in the context of today's marketing machines for some publishers, this one is, again, a genuine beta test. Thank you, Capcom, for respecting how language works. It's designed to load up the servers as much as possible, which is why it's being operated in two relatively short windows of availability to focus as many players on at one time as they can, to test and verify the capabilities and technical functions of network load and connectivity and latency and overall network performance and, more importantly, inter-platform connectivity. Happy to help, Capcom. Happy to help. So, availability times are on screen there for you. You can do your own conversions. Just punch the time into Google. Just type in, 3 a.m. UTC and Google will, or at least should, automatically convert that for you into your local time zone. Rather conveniently for me, because Sydney does live in basically the same time zone as Tokyo, my relative time starts at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Quite comfortable. Lovely. But you might notice there we do start with a single platform test over on PlayStation for PlayStation Plus subscribers only, which frustrating for those who don't game on that platform. But considering PlayStation was the OG home of Monster Hunter and has spent its history flipping between PlayStation and Nintendo platforms before World took it multi-platform for the first time, it's not shocking. There is absolutely a large portion of the Monster Hunter fan base that live on Sony's consoles. Then, as a second session for another few days for the true multi-platform test. So, PlayStation users give it the shakedown, and then everybody jumps on board to really rattle the servers. I, being addicted to, a very passionate Monster Hunter gamer, will be playing on PlayStation for the first session and moving over to PC for the second session, as we have a lot of questions that we can at least start poking at when it comes to performance and specification requirements over on PC. See my video on that worrying topic for more details. Interestingly, it seems only the initial PlayStation-only session will require a PlayStation Plus subscription. And it's suggested, although frustratingly not made super explicit, that on the multi-platform session, Xbox users won't need Game Pass either. Not for the beta test, of course. Both consoles will require their respective subscription things to play online with the full game, as they always do for any paid game that has online functionality. Now, when it comes to install size, it will be about 29 gigabytes for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. If you're curious about the size of the full game, we have an idea about that from the PC specifications we already know about. It should be about 140 gigabytes for the full game. And again, interestingly, while no mention of NVIDIA is made, the website very, very specifically wants to make sure that you've updated your graphics drivers if, like me, you've gone Team Red for your GPU these days. So clearly, that is suggesting there is some sort of issue you will hit if you are not using the most updated graphics drivers for your AMD GPU. During the beta, character creation is fully available. Unlike the convention demo they've been showing off that just has a few preset characters you could choose from, the whole character creator is here this time in its complete form with every option the full game will launch with. And during the beta, you'll also be able to remake your character as many times as you like. Historically, in Monster Hunter games, they sell character change tickets as microtransactions. Something I've always grumbled at, so I do encourage you to really spend a lot of time here fine-tuning a look to nail down for the full game, because, wonderfully, you can also carry over your character creation data into the full version. If, of course, you play the full game on the same system as you played the beta, because while there is cross-play, there is no cross-save. So absolutely use this chance to design your ideal hunter, have a play around with all the different features, and perfect your palico too. The beta will have a story trial mode, which will function as an introductory tutorial, much as it will in the full game, and serve to start feeding you the vibe of this game's setting and characters and story and such. And you'll be able to test the SOS Flare system, of course, to call in help from other players, or, should matchmaking fail for whatever reason, from NPC hunters. You can also change the multiplayer settings, the number of hunters you want to join you, whether or not it's friends only, set a passcode, all stuff existing players will feel familiar with. These are all features we've been dealing with for some time now on the other games. But one little change, you can actually have it set to NPC hunters only. And there is one option there that is very new indeed and very, very nice. Automatic SOS. So, while in previous games, they had a manual SOS flare to call in help, which, frankly, in some circumstances was awkward, especially in World, where you had to get through a cutscene and then you're under attack and you want to call in other players, but you have to sort of find space to fire off the SOS flare and maybe a copy hit or two. It wasn't a big deal, but it was kind of fussy and annoying. But here, you can just set it to automatically call for help at the start of all your hunts and just be open for multiplayer by default, which I love that. I've always enjoyed multiplayer more in Monster Hunter, even if it is just with randos, because the extra chaos and unpredictability of other hunters being present in the hunt, doing their own thing, distracting the monster in different ways, it's always so much more fun than just a straight head-to-head fight. They'll also be testing the cross-platform friends list function, but mildly annoyingly, that information will not transfer to the full game. I don't know why they would do that, but that's the way it works. So yeah, your friends list isn't going to come with you, but you should test it all the same because, that's what it's there for. It's for testing, help Capcom out, make sure when the game launches, it works properly. And as has been the case in the past with Monster Hunter demos and betas, there's some rewards for participating that will be delivered in the full game. This time, a very cute pendant for your weapon, which, another little feature confirmation, by the way, just slid in here like no one would notice. These pendants also work as decorations on your Sacred's saddle. I don't think we knew that before now, so that's fun. I think the pendant is supposed to be a palico, judging by the patterning, but something about the design gives me strong puppy vibes. Just me? I'm not wrong, right? There's definitely puppy vibes going on there. Anyway, also you get a pack of handy consumables, which has been the case for previous demos and whatnot as well. This time around you get 10 mega potions, 5 rations, the same of life powder, a couple of max potions, a couple of herbal medicines and nullberries, and 5 armor spheres for upgrading your stuff. Nothing crazy, but real nice anyway. And again, you will only get these if you play the full version of the game on the same system as you played the beta, because there is no cross-save, remember. Other things worth knowing, there is no offline mode for the beta at all. While you're not forced to play in multiplayer, you simply must be online at all times to participate. This is, after all, largely a test of the network and cross-platform stuff. They want you to use the online stuff, they want you to do multiplayer so we can test it properly. And at the very least, even if you don't do that sort of stuff, they want you to be online so they can track other telemetry and whatnot to see how things are tracking, make sure they're working properly. And after the beta test, there'll be a user survey to take part in. This, you'll have to have a Capcom ID account for. So if you do want to give the devs some direct feedback on the beta, and you don't have a Capcom ID yet, you'll want to make one. Just go to the site, it's free and easy. The reward for survey participation is an SNS icon. I don't actually know what that means. To me, you say SNS in the context of Monster Hunter, and I think Sword and Shield. And these are obviously not icons for Sword and Shield stuff. So if you know what an SNS icon is for, let me know. Because I've got no idea what that means, or I've forgotten what SNS means in some other context. Anyway, that's everything useful we know about the beta, at least right now. I'll be playing the absolute living poop out of it, of course. I'm not even going to admit to you just how many hours I spent playing the Rise demo, because it was quite a lot for a demo. So I expect to be playing this the largest amount of waking hours that I have while it's available. There's weapon choices to make. I need to test all the weapons and several weapon combinations. And I mean, it's a hard choice, man, because I don't really have a single main. I'm not one of those people who just mains one weapon, and that's, you know, my personality weapon. That's not who I am in this game. There's at least half the weapon roster that are all count as tempting, valid choices that I can use and use well for my core weapon for my first playthrough of Wilds. And of course, I will be needing to record as much footage as I can get to use for other videos while we wait for release. I've got some content plans that I need some very specific stuff about, so I'll be doing that as well. I'll be streaming, of course, so keep an eye on my Twitter or Blue Sky for pings about when I go live on Twitch. But in the meantime, while we wait for this beta to actually start opening up for us, thank you very much for watching. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. Thank you as always to the patrons, of course, whose above me on support is glorious. And happy hunting.
Friday, February 28th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Steam.